Our next step is to calculate the cumulative frequency. And the cumulative frequency is merely the tally of the number of people that are in all classes up to the class that we're in, or the grouping that we're in. So in the first case, we're looking at the number of visits from 0 to 2, and the number of people in that grouping is 10. But now, when we go to the second row, we want to know how many people total had visits from 0 to 5 visits. Instead of just 0 to 2 or 3 to 5, we want to accumulate these two groupings. So what we would do is we would now take the 10 from above, and then we would add to it the current column. Again, we could do this manually in our head, write it down, but when we get to larger groupings, the number of groupings and the number of data sets, it gets a little bit more complicated. The other nice thing is, once we do this formula in here, we can just drag it down and get the totals, the cumulative frequencies, added up for us or calculated for us. So what this means is that there were 24 people who had from 0 to 8 visits in that year. This number, our total, should equal our total number of people here, because what we've done is how many people have visited from 0 to 11 times. And that we know is 25 from our original calculation. That's how we do the cumulative frequency. Now, what we do for the cumulative relative frequency, we can do the same thing as we have done for the cumulative frequency, only now we're looking at the relative frequency. So we would take the relative frequency here, and in our next cell we would take the relative frequency rate from above plus the relative frequency in the current class. Again, we can carry that all the way down, and in this case the cumulative relative frequency should equal 1 when you get down from 0 to 11 visits, because that includes the entire number of people in the sample, which is 25.